Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I know it's been a minute since I have done this, since I went live. Welcome to the Lady Boss Show. We're in the middle of our lifestyle discussions. Let me go ahead and say happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I am the creator and the host of this show, Veronica Chanel. It's been a while since I've done this. I took a little break because the Lady Boss Show is also on the radio platform as well. So I want to go ahead and welcome everyone who's watching me from YouTube, Periscope, as well as Facebook. We had like a little issue, but I got that straight. So I am just excited about tonight. I'm excited about having my guest tonight. She is one that I have been following for quite some time, and I like the name of her company. The name of her blog is Sugar and Money. Who would ever thought anything pertaining to financing, personal finance as well as budgeting, is Sugar and Money. So I'm gonna have my guest going to come in and tell us a little bit more about that. But first, is this your first time seeing me, first time seeing the Lady Boss Show, we like to have discussions pertaining to lifestyle, business, as well as entertainment. So whenever I bring a guest on, whenever I go live, it's pertaining to those three areas. That is basically the foundation of the Lady Boss Show. So my guest tonight is coming all the way from Columbia, South Carolina. We're like neighbors technically. We're like neighbors. I'm in North Carolina. She's in South Carolina. She's not too far from me, but she has this way of motivating you and educating you on budgeting. Because how many know that next year is like what, a couple of weeks away? We want to get our finances. If it's not in order, let's get it in order. So I want to welcome my guest. Let me bring her in. Her name is Jackie Jones from Sugar and Money. Hello, Jackie.
Hello.
Welcome to the Lady Boss Show. I am so glad that you are here. If you are watching us live, even if you're watching the replay, feel free to share this to your family and friends. You go to the Lady Boss Show Facebook page. You can also watch it on YouTube as well, and share it out because she has some good tips. I know she can help you. So, Jackie, let's get into our discussion. Let's get into our discussion. I want to know first of all. I want to know. I noticed in your IG. I'm sorry. No, before I'm jumping ahead because
You like
I
getting right
want
into
I
it.
want everybody to get to know how in the world she paid off 60,000 in debt. But let's back up a little bit. I want you to tell us a little bit about your career path first, and how did you decide to become a personal finance blogger?
Well, first, I want to thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Mhm.
I work in human resources. So some years ago, of course, I went to college and, racked up student loan debt, also racked up credit card debt. And while in human resources, you can definitely move up. When I got out of college, I realized that what I was making was not going to allow me to really pay off my debts. I needed to make more money. So then I went from an administrative role in human
Mhm.
resources to becoming a management role. So I'm an HR manager. I've been an HR manager for the past 7 years. While
Wow.
but while being in HR, you hear a lot of personal things. A lot of people come in and talk about, financial issues, maybe
Yeah.
also like 401k, maybe loans that they shouldn't take out now. But it's sometimes because of financial struggles. So all of that. And I would kind of, share my little bit of advice, but I can't really advise them, not in my
Mhm.
role, but I'll just kind of give my opinion. So from that, I think that kind of opened me up to wanting to talk about finances to people when a lot of
Mhm.
people don't want to talk about finances. So I found that I was very approachable because they knew me from work. Um,
Mhm.
so that's what kind of got me kind of talking about it before I even had a blog. And then I also started like following different people on Instagram and saw them talking about getting out of debt, sharing their money stories, which a lot of people, like I said, they don't talk about it. And that is what encouraged me to talk about my story also.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Mhm.
you was a HR manager.
Oh, yes,
So
I
so
am.
so she know about the federal and state laws surrounding
Just
I
a little
love
bit, just a
human
little bit.
resources just a little bit. I took a little bit of that in college, but you as being a manager, you engage in it like every day. So
Yes, ma'am.
that is some serious business. So you know what? That makes sense why you went into personal finance. Because you did well. I don't want to jump ahead because I am so anxious, y'all, for her to start getting into that budgeting thing. I'm telling you, because my mind has been turned to get everything in order. So trying to also the topic tonight. Did I jump ahead? I'm sorry if I did, y'all. Our discussion tonight is we're talking about budgeting and getting our finances, our money in order. I'm featuring Jackie Jones because she's good at it. So Jackie, tell us why did you name it Sugar and Money?
Because I love sugar. Like my favorite dessert is red velvet
Mhm.
cake. So I always like you want a name that's kind of catchy and draw people in. And I'm like, I love sugar. So I kind of
Mhm.
equate that to living a sweet life, to have that balance. And then
Mhm.
also finances, that's the money part. So that's where the sugar and money comes from. Living a sweet life while having sweet finances.
Mm, I like that. I like that. That was catchy. So Jackie, tell us. In your IG bio, you said you paid off that 60,000 in debt, and you have like, I believe you said you have like maybe 30 some thousand to go.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you do that? I mean,
Um,
tell us we want to know the sweet tea because some people just like I could barely pay off 10,000.
For me, I always say I first decided, like I really decided that I was going to stop with the credit card, stop charging them, paying them
Mhm.
off and charging them back up. So first it started with, stop accumulating debt. So originally I had $100,000 in debt. That hundred thousand
Mm.
dollars broke down between my car, which I bought brand new, which a lot of people don't really agree to, but I bought
Mhm.
my 2010 Altima brand new, but I still have it now, 9 years later. So that was about 22, 23,000, somewhere around there. I had about 20,000 in credit card debt, and then the remaining 56 roughly was student loan debt. So I knew I was not getting any more student loan debt, so I wasn't accumulating any more than that. But of course, you get interest accruing on that student loan debt.
Mhm.
I stopped using my credit cards, and then my car, I chose not to get a new car. I just paid my car off. So that's how it, started, like by stopping to accrue more debt and then started paying more. So I wasn't paying just the minimum payment on my credit card bill. So if I had an extra $500, I was making $500 payments on my credit card bill, sometimes monthly or bi-monthly, $500 each month. Also, when my car got paid off, that was like $382 a month. Once
Mhm.
my car got paid off, that went directly toward another debt. I did not let it just, slip through my hands. I budgeted and made a plan that would go toward paying off my debt. And I increased my income. I think I kind of said that earlier when I said I went from administrative role to more of management. That was
Mhm.
really a pivotal move. Me and my husband, we actually relocated to Richmond, Virginia. I was in
Oh.
Columbia, even though I'm back now. But when I got that promotion, we had to relocate. And that presented a raise. And then,
Mhm.
first it was a little rocky getting the budget really together because you're in a new area, your rent was higher, added expenses. But once we got
Mhm.
in that flow, then we were able to put that toward debt, and just paying off the debt. So the first thing I paid off out of that would have been my credit card debt. And then my car got fully paid off. And then now I'm paying off the rest of my student loans. So I have about $36,000 left in student loans.
Mhm. So when you decided to pay that off, did you get like a planner or did you go to a personal finance banker that kind of helped you? What motivated you to say, I need to come up with this type of expenses, this plan, you and your husband, being that you have your daily, your monthly expenses,
Hmm.
but paying anything else off, that's like extra. And then you, at the same time, you got to take care of yourself. You want to buy some things for you. I think that's where a lot of us struggle at. So how did you go about doing that?
It initially started when I read Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, and he talked that book. Even if you don't follow all the steps, the first two steps, which is one, saving $1,000 in emergency, like a little small
Mhm,
emergency account, and then from
mhm,
that, creating that debt snowball of listing all your accounts from smallest to largest and paying them off one by one. What really motivated me was even before we moved, I realized so much of my paycheck was going toward debt. So I realized once I pay that debt off, that's going to be money that I'll be keeping. That'll
mhm.
be more money that I can invest in my 401k, or more money I can save, more money that we can use, for our life. But I needed to get rid of that debt because I still had that liability of owing people money. Even if I was just making the minimum payment, I was having to always make those payments.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the fact that you had got some discipline in your when it comes to your money. That's the main thing. You developed this system and you posted on your Instagram page too. I printed the sheet out and everything that she did. This system that you developed, you call it the Sweet Money Challenge. I want you to
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about that because let me put up her Instagram handle, y'all. So if you want to go and actually go through her post feed, you see what I'm talking about because she's offered tips. So tell us a little bit about that challenge, Jackie.
With this challenge, and I actually printed it too. Like this is,
Okay.
I completed it. This is how it looks. So what
Mhm.
I did is last year, well, this year that we're in, a 48-week money challenge to where you would have it completed by around Black Friday. I figured really was the first week of December, but around that time, so you would have your money to go Christmas shopping. And the increments start at $10 up to
Mhm.
50. So not a lot per week. And it's flexible as you can decide if I want to save $10 one week or do I want to save $50 one week. And as long as you completed all of the savings, which was 48 of them, you would have $1,275 at the end of the challenge. And I
Wow.
picked and that's really good because a lot of people, they say what 4 out of 10 Americans can only cover $400 or more like emergency expense. So a lot of us don't even have that 400 saved, and definitely not $1,000 saved.
Right. And you did. I noticed that you put a screenshot of your PayPal. You posted how she had like this amount of money saved up. So y'all, we can't go to those movies as often as we want, buy clothes as often as they, because I'm telling you, Belks and JCP be sending me emails like every day. Every day I get it's tempting, or how about
Mhm.
it's tempting to go and get that hair. Oh, I need to get them shoes, I need to get this. But if you have a goal in mind, you wouldn't want to do all that. So I know you said it, Jackie, you had a sacrifice several things to
Yes,
do this
yes.
challenge.
hmm And it takes discipline. And I would even say like a challenge is something good because I think we all
Mhm,
remember even growing up, like challenge. If somebody's challenging you, you want to complete it.
mhm,
So this, and then I had all my followers that was following along every week or every other week because I get paid every other week. Normally every 2 weeks I would post it. I
mhm,
would post when I made that deposit. So if it was $50, I was maybe posting when I made $100 deposit because I'm doing two at a time because I get paid bi-weekly. And that accountability, even from your internet friends, as we call it, is enough motivation to kind of keep you disciplined to save that money. It was one person who did this sheet 4 times. So, and she used it to save to move. So she had, $5,000 roughly that she had to save her money just from this one sheet. She just printed it out 4 times and completed it.
ah, that is
So,
that is smart. And she had $5,000 at the end.
yes,
Honey, I'm telling
within a
you,
year.
within a year, not
Yeah,
within
within a
a
year.
certain.
Because
Okay,
it's 48 weeks total. So she just did it, but it was still within a year. So a lot of people don't have $5,000 that they saved up within this
no.
year. Yeah.
No, no, they don't. And,
hmm
Jackie, I see Michelle is watching. Let me pause for a moment. I wanna say hey to everybody
Hey,
who's watching us live.
Michelle.
Thank you so much. And for those who watching the replay, make sure you share this out. Michelle said Jackie's encouraged me, to get her entire whole financial life together. That's my mom was watching as well. And what she says here is Michelle says she restored it and had it completed by her 40th okay. Okay, Michelle. And then let's see. Oh, but she said great finance advice. She's getting into it. She gonna get more
Thank
into it.
you.
So now I want to ask you something as well because you know your opinion. I want you to have the floor. This is Christmas season. This is the spending season, really,
hmm
so to speak. Everybody's like all these deals. We just came out of Black Friday, but they're not finished. A
No.
lot of sales going all the way to Christmas Eve. How can we deal with this season in preparation of 2020? Because we got to live after Christmas. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
ma'am.
So what tips or advice will you give us?
I would hope that you have already saved that money to spend for Christmas because that was like another reason the challenge was created to have like that money for Christmas. Because a lot of people, I think on average, about $800 to $1,000 is what people spend Christmas time. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have that saved, then that's going to be $800 to $1,000, maybe on a credit card, maybe on some type of high interest loan, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
starting the year off behind the 8 ball. So if you
Mm-hmm.
know that you really can't afford to cash flow those expenses, I would encourage you to only spend what you can truly afford. Whether that is going to just a cash only system and saying no to debt and saying no to credit cards, because at some point, and I posted this before, the spending has to stop. It sounds kind of odd to say it, and I have to have that
Yeah.
talk with myself sometimes too, because we get caught up. These sales are good. We want these things, but at some point, the spending has to stop. And if you want to get out of debt or you want to save money, you're going to have to pull back those strings and not spend so much money. So if you know I can only spend $250 this year on gifts or $300, you just shop those sales and that's only what you spend because then you won't have that bill waiting on you in January that you cannot cover.
Right. Absolutely. Because in January, them interest rate, if you charged it, them interest rates are gonna them payments gonna start rolling in as well. Repeat what you just said, Jackie. You said only spend. I think we need to hear it again.
Oh, only spend what you can actually afford. Only spend what you have either the cash for or what you can pay in full in January when the bill comes. Because if not, you're taking a loan out for those Christmas gifts. When you use your credit card and you're paying interest on those purchases, that's still a loan. You maybe didn't go into, security finance or one of these banks or something to get a loan, but you're still loaning money from American Express or MasterCard. The same as when you go to eat and you use your credit card and you're not paying that off at the end of the month. You took a loan out for that meal. You took a loan out for the ice cream, the Chipotle, the Target purchase, or whatever you charged, and you did not pay off at the end of the month because you're paying interest on that. And if you're paying interest on it, it's a loan.
That, you know what, that's something to think about. We don't see it as that, like as a loan. It is in a way. It really is. But credit card, because you're charging it, I'm promised to pay it later. But we don't see it as, like, I guess because the name has changed. Credit card versus personal loan, but it's still a loan. I like that. That's why I wanted you to repeat it again. Do you offer on your site, because you're a personal finance blogger as well, so do you offer any type of planner or budgeting that we can use to help us get everything in order, to kind of shift our mind?
I did create a holiday planner. It was just for the holiday season. It's still out there now, but it was really to help you with your holiday spending. It also had a holiday savings challenge, and then also like a printable cash envelope. That's still on my site now. I'll probably keep it up for another week because the holidays are wrapping up, and then I'll revamp it for next year. Otherwise, people do reach out to me individually for like personal coaching, and then I help people in their finances that way also.
Good, because I was just about to ask Jackie. I said, do you offer like one-on-one consultation? Because somebody may be interested in chatting with her. I need you all to follow her on Facebook and Instagram, because the format and the way she offer her tips, it is definitely amazing. Do you have like any type of budgeting system of breakdown, Jackie, of how they can go about separating their expenses as far as?
I'm sorry. Yeah, on my blog, I do have one blog post about how to create a budget. Otherwise, I talk a lot about sinking funds with separating their money that way. Like a Christmas sinking fund is basically like a savings account for something you're saving up for monthly that's going to eventually be paid out, like Christmas, car expenses, those large expenses that come about. I don't have a complete blog post about that, but if anybody reaches out to me, I can definitely take them through setting up that initial budget and like setting up a plan for those sinking funds, because that's the things that sometimes come up, like Christmas, that really throws us off track. Or maybe even, like a kid's birthday. Sometimes we spend a lot on our kids' birthdays or trips. Like you can save for that throughout the year, so you have it and you can cash flow it and it won't set you back.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, because the way these months are flying by, next thing you know, it's going to be summertime. The kids out of school, vacation. You think about it's like it's never ending. So we're trying to get some stuff together, some things in order, so we won't be. And also an emergency fund. I think, Jackie, you mentioned that, because you never know, anything can happen. Well, Jackie, I am so glad that you came on to help us, to talk about a little bit about the budgeting and personal finances, and especially how she managed to knock off 60,000. Yeah, that is awesome.
It was a good feeling, and now I'm ready to get rid of that 35. Like I'm ready to have those student loans gone.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh my God, like they just like it, you're thankful that they're there so you can get through college. You're thankful when you get your degree, but a lot of times as students, or even those who's even when you go from bachelor to graduate school, there's a big balance sitting there looking at you like, hey.
I always joke and say it's a fancy car that I'll never drive.
I like that, Jackie.
It is. That
it's a fancy car she will never drive.
Yeah. At one point, it actually got up to 60,000 with interest. So yeah, it's a very nice car. I would never drive.
Oh God. Oh, I want to thank Miss Mitchell for putting up the link to Jackie's website. And that's the same name. You can search for her on Instagram as well as Facebook. Jackie, thank you for coming on the Lady Boss Show. Don't she look nice, y'all?
Just for you. I have to put my makeup on.
She looks nice, y'all. Y'all seen her the pictures that I posted, Jackie? She's very pretty. I want to
Thank
thank
you.
everybody for coming in and for for joining us live. I'm gonna have Jackie back again. I always have the guests, then I wait a little bit and I bring them back for a part two. We're gonna talk more in deep about another topic, but it's still gonna be pertaining to personal finance. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you guys for coming in watching the Lady Boss Show. See y'all next time. Next week, let me
Thank
mention next
you.
week, December 18th, we're gonna have Michelle Fong on. She probably do maybe a makeup demonstration. I don't know for sure, but she's going to be on the Lady Boss Show. We to have a discussion about beauty during this holiday season. Okay, Jackie, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Anything you have coming up?
I will be releasing a new challenge for 2020. So a few of my followers would like one that where we save $2,020. So 2020. So that'll be coming out soon. And if they just join my mailing list or follow me on Instagram, I will post all the details there.
All right, y'all. Now make sure you follow Sugar and Money on Instagram. All right, now smooches, everybody.
Thank you.